Hey friends, Karis Blunderscore here, formerly Flexiboot, formerly Hot Gamer Dad. That's a terrible username now, given my current deal as a member of the woke mob, or whatever people are calling it these days. Hope you're all having a good time. I want to try something different today. The past 3 videos I've made have all been fairly high effort, with lots of editing and script writing and effort. So I wanted to make something fairly shorter, a bit more straightforward, where I just talk and you just listen and we have a good time, and I show you clips of me playing Team Fortress 2 by Valve Software. For what it's worth, I really enjoyed how well that Pokemon video did. I really am quite pleased with it. I think on some level you always kind of hope that the video you're going to make is going to like blow up and 178,000 people are going to like it and laugh and love and everything else that you can put on a fridge magnet. And while it didn't do that, I am still really happy with how well it done. It outperformed the other two, and people spent more time watching it than I spent making it, so I'll consider that like an absolute win every time. It was exhausting to make though, hence why I'm making something quieter. I'll make something again in the future. I have got stuff in the works. We'll wait and see when that happens. But today, we're playing some Team Fortress 2. We're having a jolly good time doing it. I spent a lot of time on TF2 playing mostly Demo Man and Soldier, with a bit of Scout and Spy as maybe like my 3rd and 4th. I think if I was to tier the characters, it would be, nowadays, it would be like Soldier, Demo, Sniper at the top, Scout and Heavy and Pyro in the middle, and then the other 3 at the bottom that I don't really have any fun playing. I found myself playing a lot of Medic recently, just because I like want my team to win, and no one's bothering, so I'm like, okay fine, I'll go Medic. And I go Medic, and then we win. And I'm like, it's good, I'm glad my team had fun winning, but like I personally did not have that much fun. And I've operated that way for more or less my entire life. Even when I first started playing TF2, like way back in, God, 2011, 2012, it was just after the Medic update came out and it became free to play. That's how long ago it was. Even back then, I never necessarily played the objective. I played it a bit more as I got older, or when it came to the last 15 seconds of a round and the announcer goes, "There's only 15 seconds left." I'm like, shit, okay, I better put my big girl pants on and try this. And then I would actually give a shit about the objective for the first time in 43 minutes. And it would have varying degrees of success. Sometimes I would absolutely beef it, and sometimes we would just roll away with the game. But my favourite thing to do was always play backline. I would always like to be the one sneaking around, not playing the objective. I'm in the back, I'm in the alleyway, I'm in the tunnels, I'm along the cliffside or whatever, and I would be engaging in a series of 1v1s with people who I'm presuming had the exact same mindset as myself, because there's no other reason for them to be there. And so I find myself playing Huntsman. I've never been the best at Sniper. I've tried all the rifles. I think the one I've had the most success with is the Classic. The one I've had the least success with is the Bizarre Bargain, because that requires headshots and I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at it. But the Huntsman, I don't know how, I don't know what's caused it, but I understand it. It makes sense to me. I don't know what game I've played that's instilled this projectile-based movement into my head, because I can't snipe to save my life. If you ask me to scope in and land a headshot on a stationary heavy, I will fuck it up. I don't know how. I will. I'll find a way. But the Huntsman, I can happily intuit where someone's going to be in about 6/7 of a second, and then make sure that an arrow is passing through their brain at that exact moment. It's something I find myself doing every time I come back to TF2, because we all take breaks from it. But something I find is whenever I'll have fun with a new weapon, I'm like, God, I wish I had this as a strange. And the Huntsman is absolutely something I will never get as a strange. I had it at one point, but not anymore. I sold it to buy, like, Elden Ring or something else. Which is probably worth it, given I have spent a couple hundred hours on that game, and I will probably deviate off of the Huntsman in about a fucking week. I'll be back to playing with the Lock and Load, or the Market Gardener, or Your Eternal Reward, or something equally ridiculous. It's worth mentioning, I got that Huntsman from some level of trade I would have made back in the day. For those of you who don't know, I had a significant addiction to keys, unboxing, and just general gambling online with TF2 and CSGO. I never done like skins gambling or anything, it was always like just the keys or buying an exotic crate and then opening it and getting fuck all and being disappointed in myself every time. I have easily spent a good 4-digit number, low 4 digits mind you, on crates and stranges and all of that nonsense. So while I love TF2 and it's probably like the lifetime game for me, or one of them anyway, I absolutely can storm the gates of Valve HQ and crucify Gabe Newell for what is probably an extremely profitable business venture for him, but for impressionable young adults who at the time would have had disposable income and maybe a job and no financial sense. The idea of getting home from work when I got paid and then just spending like 30-40 quid in an evening on crates and keys was just my jam. And the thought of that now just sort of makes me sick. It's something I found peace with now. Like, if you're watching this and you're like, oh shit, is she okay? You know, does she need help? I'm fine, thank you. I'm a lot more sensible now. I very rarely ever indulge in gambling, and when I do, it's always like £5 at most. It's something I struggle with in more recent days. I think one time I was at the Co-op, or an equally small shop. They're all small shops in the UK. If you're not from the UK, they just exist on like main roads in towns and villages, or just at random corners in the city, and you can buy, it's the place you can buy milk and also apples and also cigarettes. That's the kind of shop it is. But they have scratch cards and like lottery tickets at the checkout, and it's not something I ever really realised how evil it was until I was there a few years ago with my son, and you know, bought him a magazine or chocolate milk or something. Just, it was the holidays and it was a little treat for him. He asked for a scratch card and I was like, yeah, okay, sure, like it's a fun little thing to do together, you know, we'll scratch it and be like, oh, and he won. He got £2 from a £1 scratch card, and I was delighted with that. I was like, oh yeah, that's really good, well done. So he went in and he spent his £2 and bought chocolate or whatever, and it was good. It was a happy little time. But a few days later after that, he asked for another one, and I realised that the first scratch card he ever done, being a win, was probably a pretty damaging thing for like his mentality. I think he's much better for it now. You know, I spoke to him at the time and I'm like, look, that was just a lucky thing, you got lucky there. A lot of the times you don't win, and in the years since he's not asked for it or anything, and I think he's successfully forgotten about the entire ordeal, which I'm thankful for. But it's almost insidious how children can be as close to something like that. It's something I tried to work on a few years ago. I never finished it. Was a video about loot boxes where I would have talked again about my former addiction to gambling, loot crates and everything to do with it. But I never finished it for whatever reason. I think that was just sort of the egg phase for me, where I was like actively repressing and dealing with so much shit that I couldn't possibly do anything involving content creation whatsoever. The idea of recording a video or something along those lines just stressed the fuck out of me. But I'm better for it now. And for anyone saying I'm a bad parent because I bought my son one scratch card, you can fuck off, okay? There's much more important things in the world than how one person is parenting their child with a lesson of which they have already learned. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. I'll have another video out eventually about probably Pokemon again, maybe TF2, I don't know. This is more so just to get my feelers out than anything else. I just wanted to make something quick and have fun while doing it, and maybe do story time so that you can listen to this while you're commuting to work at the long day factory or whatever. Anyway, that's it for now. Goodbye.